First of all, I know your heart is very heavy this morning, Congressman.
I'm just sickened and devastated. There is so much hurt in our community to have 8 people killed, families' lives will never be the same. And to have this happen at VTA, where people have been going to work selflessly in public service to make public transportation run in our communities. And this was supposed to be a day of celebration with ridership up, and to have this kind of tragedy, it's just heartbreaking and unbelievable grief in our community.
Let's talk about what can be done then, because as you know, I don't need to tell you, San Jose is usually in that list of top 10 safest big cities in America, and California has some of the toughest gun legislation in the country as for states. So if this can happen here, what can be and what must be done on the federal level? Talk to us about what you're pursuing right now.
Well, first of all, we need to know why in the world would someone like Cassidy, the suspect, have access to these kind of guns and weapons. I mean, there are reports that he may have had a domestic violence incidents. He obviously was prone to violence. There's no way someone like that should have a gun that can kill many people in seconds. And this means that we need stronger red flag laws. We need to have a universal background check with some teeth in it, so that those who are going to commit these kind of horrific acts don't get access to weapons that can really destroy communities in seconds.
Again, I don't know the nature of this particular domestic violence case, and I don't know if that meets the threshold in terms of any red flag laws or any priors. But look, we're talking about what's happening here, even though President Biden used his first speech to Congress to call for more federal gun safety. We're talking about, in some of the other states, in Texas, Tennessee, they're just now removing the need for a permit to carry concealed weapons. And I'm just wondering how you can, I guess, work together, both sides of the aisle, to address some of the tightening up that you just pointed out are needed.
Well, we need to follow what President Biden has called for, and that is to at least pass universal background checks. We've passed it in the House of Representatives. The Senate hasn't acted on it, and it has 80% approval of the American public. It does not do a thing in going after law-abiding gun owners. They can still own their guns. What it says is if you are a criminal, if you are prone to committing violent acts, then you should not be getting guns. And I don't understand why in the world that is controversial. I am going to do everything I can. I mean, since I've been in Congress for 5 years, I've been fighting for this. We keep passing it in the House, but the Senate doesn't act. I'm hopeful the president will prevail on the Senate to pass this.
There are a lot of these mass shooters, though, who have no prior indication that there was trouble afoot or that he would become a mass shooter. I think the conversation has to involve mental health and how could we be better, I guess, about spotting people who could potentially go that route, and to have intervention early on. That component needs to be part of this solution, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. We need far more resources for mental health, for therapy, for having those resources at the workplace, at community centers. But we can't have that as the only solution. It's not an either or. We need more resources for mental health and wellness. We need common sense gun laws. Both have to be part of the solution. And I really think, look, there are a lot of things we can fight about politically and disagree, but I can't imagine there is a single American who is not heartbroken when you have this kind of tragedy in a community. And if it could happen here in one of the safest places, it can happen anywhere in America. And I know the media moves on, people's lives move on, but the families who've lost someone, their lives are never the same. Our community is never going to be the same. VTA is never going to be the same. We have to do something as a country to address this.
I mean, no argument there, but we were heartbroken after Aurora. We were heartbroken after Parkland. We were heartbroken after Columbine. What is different this time?
We have a president, I think, who has an ability to empathize, who understands America and can connect with broad demographics in America. I don't think anyone out there believes that President Biden wants to take away guns. I think he's communicated in a very common sense way. And he has the benefit of having served in the Senate for over 3 decades. So if there's someone who can break through in our country and to the Senate, it's him. And I hope that we will follow his leadership on this issue.
Congressman Ro Khanna, I'm going to let you go in 1 second, but I do want to ask you one last question. I know you've been in constant communication this morning with San Jose Police Department, Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, and the Mayor's Office. Is there anything else you can share with us at this time?
I've been in communication with Mayor Liccardo, with Glenn Hendricks. They're doing everything they can to be responsive to particularly the VTA families. I just want to thank the law enforcement and the emergency responders, the doctors and nurses who did respond to this tragedy, and just express that my heart goes out to the VTA family, and we will be there for them in any way possible.